What's going on, everyone? Gelman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video, ticker symbol AAPL, where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let me go ahead and hit record. We'll get right into the video. So actually a small green day for Apple, which is not something that I was anticipating. I remember telling you guys yesterday, hey, let's hope for a green day. You know, maybe we don't see a Friday fade, maybe we see a little bit of a green day on Friday. But, you know, at the beginning of the day, it was clear that that probably wasn't happening, right? You take a look, it was looking pretty weak. And then right kind of towards the end, let me go over here on the one-day chart. Yeah, right here towards the end, right, crazy rally going from our lower 119 level to the higher 121.48 level, hitting up against it and then kind of going down into the close. So should be a pretty quick one today, but let's take a look at everything that happened. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, how Apple stock traded. Actually, no, let's talk about the market overall. Then we'll talk about Apple stock, because I think that, you know, understanding what the market did and why the market is moving the way it is going to be kind of pretty crucial for us taking a look at Apple as well. So what I want to cover here is actually, let's take a look at the S&P 500, which actually ended the day up about $6.28, which is about 1.61%. NASDAQ was up 1.24, and then the Dow was up 1.36%. So why did the S&P rally kind of into the close, right? I mean, we're talking a 6-point rally, pretty much flat on the day, right? Slightly negative even at one point, and then pushed up into the close. So that actually is because we are talking about a little bit of, you know, recovery hopes. So this article here talks a little bit more about, you know, why the indices rose to kind of end the day. So it says S&P 500 and Dow rose in a broad-based advance on Friday, with technology, healthcare, and financial stocks providing the biggest lift as investors bet on a recovery that is expected to deliver the fastest economic growth since 1984. That is huge, huge news, which really led the markets on that push higher. If you guys remember, this week was kind of up and down and up and down. Even Apple, right? Last week we ended at 119.99, and today for a while there I thought it was gonna pin right at that kind of 120 level again, but you know, then we got that push towards the late day. So pretty much what's happening is that investors are rebalancing their portfolios towards the end of the quarter, right? So January, February, March is the first quarter of 2021, and they are kind of betting on a couple things. Things that have to benefit from a recovering economy. That's number one. And number two are the beaten down technology shares, which in Apple's case, that's a beaten down technology share, right? So we're seeing a little bit of a push there. So that's great news, you guys. You know, I think that personally, with the S&P, there's a couple things that I'm looking at, right? Talked about that with you guys previously as well. And that is this 400 level. We broke through, so you guys remember, you know, downtrend a few weeks ago, downtrend this past week, and late last week. Facing a little bit of resistance before we get to the 400 mark. I think that's a huge milestone for S&P 500. So it's, you know, clear that we would see a little bit of a pullback. We could still, you know, go up and then see a little bit of a pullback before we finally break through, or we maybe break through it on Sunday, you know, futures. Who knows? But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so if we were to pull back, we, I think, have good support at 394. As well as 392 and 390, but hopefully 394. And if not, you know, 400s could definitely be in the books next week if we see this continued rotation into kind of these beaten down tech names and these recovery names as a part of the S&P 500. So next week is super exciting, because after we broke this trend and really pushed up today, especially the way we ended the week gives me a little bit of hope going into next week. We could potentially see S&P to 400. Now let's take a look at Apple. We'll take a look at how it traded today, key levels of support and resistance, as we always do. So pre-market hit that 121.50 level. I mean, take a look at that, perfect rejection, 2 cents off of our level. And then the day was pretty boring. We were selling off at one point, hitting with mid 1950s. Then we went up and we were spending a lot of time here, and that's when I was kind of like, well, we did absolutely nothing this week. Last week we ended at 1999, and this week we could also end around that level. And then we sold off, and I was like, darn, we could be a lot lower than we were last week. But thankfully we bounced right off of our 119 level, right, 118.93, about 16 cents away from our level, and then we just rallied. I mean, take a look at this monster rally that happened in the last, like, I want to say hour and 10 minutes. So we pushed up, broke through VWAP, came right back up. You know, didn't have the strength to really break through this 121.50 level, which is kind of exactly where we were stuck in the pre-market as well, if you remember here. But still, a great push to end the week for a couple different reasons. A, we ended above VWAP, we ended the week green, and the fact that we absolutely kind of rallied into the close gives me hope for next week. I definitely think that, you know, S&P to 400 is definitely, could be in the books. With a little bit of a pullback, you know, possible, right? Not saying that we're directly going to go above it, but definitely doable. Let's take a look here at our charts. So I mentioned this a couple days ago. Perfect time to really iron condor Apple. I don't know what the credit looks like, because I've never iron condored Apple, but this would have been the perfect time to do it. Apple's done nothing for the past 2 weeks. As you can see, it's between the 119 and 123.69 level, other than this kind of 1.5 day where it was above it, and this day where it was kind of just below it. Other than that, you take a look back at 3-4, which pretty much is the beginning of March, to kind of where we are today, you could iron condor 119 and 123. Hopefully that changes next week, and hopefully we start to finally push up, and that doesn't happen. So let's talk about what our future could look like. So from a level of support, as we validated the past 2 days, 119 has been holding up really well, which I'm super happy about. So if we do break below 120 again, I think 119 will be great support. If not, 116.20 is kind of my last level of support, which if I bring in the 200-day moving average, that's also at 116.93. I don't personally think we break below 116.93 unless we see some crazy weakness. But other than that, hoping for a push up. So first level, as again, as you guys could see, we've not been able to go above 121.50. So that's the first level, 121.48, 121.50, whatever you want to call it. Next level, 123.69, which again, for the past few weeks, we've really not been able to sustain above it. We've gone above it for one day, came right back the next day. And then after that is 126.65. My goal for next week, get above 121.40s, get above 123.69. Let me bring, you guys know what I'm about to bring up. Let me bring in that 89 EMA for us. Where'd it go? Okay, the EMAs are just not working for whatever reason. This is super weird. Are the moving averages working? There they are. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck was happening there. 89 EMA, 124.53, my goal for next week. It's been my goal, it continues to be my goal. Apple has just struggled. So next week, break through this level, break through 123.69, capture mid 124s. What I want then to happen is, I don't necessarily want it to just fly to 130. I want it to kind of take a look at what happens the last time I tried to do that, right? When I went from 120 kind of 4s to 127s, it wasn't able to sustain it the next day. So what I want is a slow climb up, us to gradually kind of get up there, hold those levels of support, and then push up towards 126.65. So once we get above 124, hold that, get above 126s, then 128s, then 130s in a kind of stair-step pattern. That way, if we were to come down, we come down to the next level down, not just 127, 120. That's, you know, what I want. Push up would be nice too, not gonna complain. But I'm kind of wanting it to get above the 89 EMA, and then hopefully now stay above the 89 EMA in the 124.50s. So hopefully, you know, futures look good. Monday, Tuesday, we start to push up, break above 121.50, 123.69, make a push towards 126.65, and in that, we capture this 124.50s level in the 89 EMA. That's all I had for you guys. Good thing we ended the week on a green note. I'm really excited to see what next week brings with the way the S&P 500 closed. should be a great week next week. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.